1, 2, 3, 4. All right, welcome back to Country and Cold Cans. I'm Logan, sitting here with Trucker Andy and Kyle. Be sure to give us 5 stars and a great review on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Amazon. And in the description of this podcast, there is a link that says click here to leave us a voicemail. Got any questions, any music recommendations, anything you just want to say to us, that's the place to hit us at. We'll respond to you the very next week. Check out the website, coldcansnetwork.com, for blog content and merch. All right, fellas. I do have some in the news of the country music world. I didn't tell y'all about this before the show because I want to get a live reaction from a hot take, if you will. So just recently, Miranda Lambert was playing a show at a smaller venue. It was a lot more of an intimate scenario. It wasn't like a big arena concert, right? Context of this matters. She was in the midst of playing, I think it was Tin Man, right? So it's a very emotional song, a ballad. I think she was playing it acoustically, small venue. And these ladies stepped, and they were like not too far from the stage, but got up and like started taking pictures in front of her singing this song. The flash was going off and everything. Well, Miranda, being the Spitfire from Texas that she is, stops in the middle of the song and tells them that this isn't time for a photo shoot. You're at a fucking concert. And it had mixed reactions on the internet, as anything does these days. So there are a lot of people, artists included, who were, upset with Miranda. A lot of fans that were upset with Miranda. Then there were fans that took Miranda's side, and then people even like Parker McCollum took Miranda's side on this. But question is for you two, what do y'all think? We're in a small, not an arena show, not an amphitheater show, but a small, intimate venue, playing a quiet ballad acoustically. Is it acceptable to stand up and take flash photos, like with her in the background, selfies, if you will?
I think it is.
I would actually disagree. Well, I mean, we as a country have no concert etiquette. I go to the least concerts as any of us here, but nothing irks me more than it's mainly the white women that insist on screaming the lyrics hysterically right behind your ears. You can sing along, that's fine, but like the screech, we all know the screech. That's just unacceptable. And
yeah, I do know this screech was what Andy sounded like when we saw Parker.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, there's no holds barred at like an amphitheater or an arena or a football stadium. I mean, there's no holds barred there. I mean, but if you're like, this probably sounds like I look at it as like, it's like being at the Grand Ole Opry. You have to be aware of where you are and have respect for the venue, if you will. If you're going to a show like at the Grand Ole Opry, it's well lit. Just pull your phone out, turn your flash off if you absolutely want a picture, but be respectful.
So your take is the type of venue, the type of song, and just the general vibe of the place changes what the proper etiquette is. All right, Andy, what's your take?
I feel like taking a picture is not that big of a deal. I mean, I don't see where you're really disrupting anything by taking a picture.
Well, it's a dark, smaller venue, not an arena. And this is why I'm trying to set the stage for you so you're getting the picture of it. And she's playing the lights are dimmed and it's on her, and she's playing a very like emotional ballad acoustically. You still think flash photography is acceptable?
I mean, I feel like you could do way worse. It's coming from someone that has certainly crossed the concert etiquette rules and then some, accompanied by someone else on this show.
The type of song though, and the type of artist, like, also matters. So
if it's their favorite song, they want the picture during that song.
Well, let's dive into concert etiquette for a little bit here. I think that it's a lot like taking your shoes off on an airplane, right? You can do it, but you probably shouldn't.
I think that depends on what type of shoe you have. If you're rocking sneakers and you've been in a layover, that's unacceptable. If you're rocking flip flops,
well, your shoes are basically off at
You're
that
basically
point.
not wearing shoes
Right.
anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But
Kyle's
yeah,
consistent though, because that's his takeaway at the concert. It depends on the song and the venue.
Yes, I am very consistent. If you will. No, I mean, like I said, an amphitheater, no holds barred. Dive bar, no holds barred. You're in a dive bar. Sorry, I mean you can't get mad at somebody taking a picture of you in a dive bar. But like I said, I relate it back to like a Grand Ole Opry, or like if you're in a like, it's a very you have to take in it. You have to be respectful to what your environment, if you will. Probably, I didn't see the video of this, but I'd imagine they have one spotlight. It's just on her. You can easily get a good picture without the flash.
That was my understanding too, and so I look at it as kind of more.
Mistake.
I look at it more similar to Kyle on this because I think that if it's a rockin' concert, say you're at a Co-Wetzel concert at a small venue or an amphitheater, like fair game. Scream the lyrics, take your photo.
Or the American Aquarium concert we went to. What was that place? Lincoln Theater?
Lincoln Theater, yeah. And now, but even with American Aquarium, it depends on the song. I think when he's playing When We Were Younger Men acoustically, you don't make a lot of noise. You don't talk during that because it's a quieter acoustic moment. You kind of have to read the room. You know what I mean? I think that concert etiquette says read the room. I hate when people are talking during a very emotional acoustic performance or a more subdued performance. I hate when people do that. Like if it's a loud rocking song, you can get away with it. You can sing the lyrics. But I'm kind of more with Kyle on it depends on the situation.
I feel like that though is to the line, but it doesn't cross it. I think that's all you could do. You can't go any further. I mean, I'm not saying you should do it, but I'm saying I think that's to the line, but not cross the line.
I can see that.
That's the line.
Well, I am against filming concerts anyway because I am the unfortunate recipient that has to thumb through your 500 Snapchats where you can't hear shit because your speaker is getting blown out on your phone from the amphitheater or even the small venue. It's so loud. It's just blowing your speaker on your phone and it's just noise.
Because if we wanted to see the concert, we would have bought a ticket.
That's right. And you doing the motion pisses me off to no end. I just sitting there thumbing through, and it's like 500 of them. And I'm just like, okay, all right. If you want to put a picture, this is more concert etiquette. This is just general use of the internet etiquette. If you want to take a picture of the background banner or just take a still photo of them on the stage. There's no need for the videos. It's like videos are your fireworks. I don't care. No one cares.
Yeah, the firework videos are the dumbest thing I've ever seen because it doesn't ever turn out cool.
Just take one still photo.
Yeah.
If anything, do the little thing where it takes like 500 pictures at once. You know, the little thing where it's
like the burst. Yeah.
Yeah. Do that and then find the best one.
Now,
but you filming minutes of fireworks or concerts, that's poor concert etiquette because you probably have your phone up in the air and you're blocking the view of someone behind you.
And as a guy who's average height, sometimes that has happened. So I agree. Yes. I don't like it when people are like, to your point, like you'll have like it's an all acoustic performance or it's a song that's meant to be a little more subdued where you should show proper concert etiquette and not have a conversation with the people you came with while the song is being sung, because there have been times where I have like tried to take a video for content purposes to have for like a article on the website or a Instagram post, but I didn't have it high up in the air, but you couldn't hear the acoustic performance because of, the peanut gallery behind me having a conversation and or singing incredibly off key to where I couldn't hear the actual artist I came to hear and was trying to capture a video for content purposes. That frustrates me too. Like, it's just like you don't need to sing along in the quietest moment of the concert.
My favorite thing to do is when I see someone doing that, I like to just ruin it by just walking by and be like, my dick is raw or something like that, where it picks it up. And I'm just saying some absurd thing just because it ruins the video. And I'm just like, yep, that's what you get. Or I gotta take a shit. It's just something absurd where I know their mic will pick it up. And when they play it back, they're like, oh, I can't post this now.
It's like one time when I was trying to take a video of something for Snapchat sitting on my couch, and then every time I was trying to take it, Andy said a ridiculous
statement
phrase. Yeah. And Andy, can I say what you said?
That was a good time.
Because it took me like 6 tries. Because every time I tried to take a video of the show, because I was going to send it to something, Andy kept every time I thought I was about to have the clip videoed, Andy would be like, corn porn.
Yeah, just something to ruin it where you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my biggest pet peeve at concerts is the shrieking.
Yeah.
Like, why? Okay, we're all excited. I have no problem with you singing along. That's perfectly fine. That's you enjoying yourself. But just the unhinged scream just irks me. And it never fails. Every time I go to one, I get stuck beside some drunk ass girl, and she just shrieks, and it blows my eardrum out.
Well, it also kind of speaks to with the phone thing for when people are putting it all over. So like social media stories, like Snapchat stories. It also speaks to that Hardy song Screen. And you see the side by side of LeBron breaking the all time scoring record in the NBA versus the 90s Bulls finals game. People can't be in the moment anymore. They're not watching a moment anymore. They're watching it through their screen on their phone. Everybody's like so obsessed with having to capture a moment. And I guarantee you don't go back and look at these videos and look at it fondly. You're missing the moment and not taking it in. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, I never take pictures of anything. Anytime we go somewhere, I never hardly ever pull my phone out. And it just irks me to no end when you see people like, oh, got to take a phone, got to eat first. Like, no, just eat your dinner.
See, I like having a photo of a trip, a photo of a gathering.
A group photo is fine.
Yeah, but not like everything doesn't need to be photoed. Every single minute doesn't need to be photoed.
No.
Because we don't need to be sitting there with our phones trying to capture everything like this. You miss out on you miss out on so much by wanting to just
depends on how drunk
capture everything.
Yeah, you can always tell when someone's
sometimes it can be funny.
You can always tell when someone's shit faced because if you're up while they're constantly posting to their Instagram story or their Snapchat story, and the next day you look and it's gone. Like, yep, they were trashed and they regretted it.
Yeah. It's like that photo of when me and Andy were younger men, and we took a photo with Jamie Lynn Wilson. That will never see the internet.
That was that specific night because one, I didn't know I took a picture of Jamie Lynn Wilson, but I'll give. Because I've done this pretty sure more than once. I'm a little slack on people's concert etiquette. Because specifically the Jamie Lynn Wilson night, pretty sure I broke probably every rule you could ever have. It was out. Any complaint you could have, you could probably complain about me that night. And I've probably done that more than once.
Our entire group went full redneck. Remember. And you never go full redneck, but we went full redneck.
And it wasn't just one person. We had 6 people in full redneck. So
we had plenty of room around us, and we're wondering why we had so much room this year at a road trip to Raleigh. It was because nobody wanted to be near us. We were like 23 or 24 at the time.
Yeah, but I'll give some slack to some people because I definitely have been this person, and that one was probably as bad as anybody could be. I don't know, like people wouldn't even stand beside us. So I'll give some people some. I feel like that I gave up some of my credibility complaining about people because of that. And I like the coach. We went to see Cody Johnson. Yeah, I remember some of it, and I know myself, so I'm going to assume I wasn't behaving.
Well, all right. So you two know me. The last thing I ever want to be is the center of attention. I just like to lay low. I'm perfectly content. Even when I'm even when I'm trashed, I don't really want to be that way. I just kind of
It just happens.
I just kind of want to lurk. And like, I'm perfectly content if like the next day, like, oh, you were there? Oh yeah, I was there. Oh, I didn't even see you. Like, yeah, that was the point.
And then, but sometimes deer antlers just fall off the wall. I don't know.
Craziest thing, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes they do. Yeah,
It shatters.
yeah. You know, but like I said, I don't know. I just want to be the. I just want to not be noticed.
Yeah, I mean, look, but Andy, that's the thing though. We've gotten older, and we act a little differently these days than we used to. So you've kind of earned the right to complain. That's just part of the territory of getting older. Like,
I went to there, people. Somebody gets passed every once in a while.
To an extent, but when I went to the Eric Church show, being on the lawn near all those 18 to 21-year-olds was annoying as shit because they were just like out of control. And then this one little skinny 19-year-old boy was like moving. He put his hand on my shoulder and was trying to slide me out of the way. I thought he was just about to fall, so I gave him a pass the first time. Then he did it again. I turned and I was like, what the fuck is your problem? He just kind of looked at me and then like pulls out a cigarette and then he just walked away. He was trashed. So like, you know, he was really hammered. I get it, but don't try to move me out of the way just because you can't see. Find another spot, asshole.
Yeah,
that's too far. That's just in general. Not even at a concert. You just don't do that to people in general.
Yeah, me and my younger brother are sitting there looking at him like, "What is your deal?" I looked at
prime
him
example.
Like,
even when I'm
like,
just
what the fuck is your problem?
When I'm shit canned, I will try to compose myself to the best of my ability and not make contact with people. It's the straightest I'll ever walk, but I'm just like, excuse me.
The more I think about it, the more redneck shit I've done at concerts. Speaking of Eric Church, I remember we got floor seats. Now, granted, it was a 45-year. This guy had gray hair, and it inspired me. Me and this old guy are sitting here spitting dip in the aisle on the floor for an Eric Church show.
You are the reason they put the paper down.
That was a PNC Arena in Raleigh.
Yeah, you're the reason they put the paper down.
Yeah, you remember Clint ended up backstage and ran into Dwight Yoakam and didn't know who he was?
That's embarrassing.
That was in Greensboro.
But yeah, Andy, I forgot that you did that. You just started spitting on the floor.
Classic.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a spit cup. I mean, I need a dip. I mean, what are you going to do? I wasn't going to do it. I figured this guy has got gray hair and he must be wise. He's doing it.
He's a seasoned veteran.
Well, in the description of this podcast, as we like to say, there's a link that says click here to leave us a voicemail. Let us know what you think of the Miranda situation. Let us know.
Most redneck thing you've ever done at a show.
Most redneck thing you've ever done at a show.
Yeah, tell everybody that Andy is the bad take Andy, not bad take Kyle. Bad take Andy.
The time that you have broken concert etiquette, the most redneck shit you've ever done at a show, let us know in the voicemail. All right, let's move on. This week we're bringing the draft back because we had a mainstream album that actually we liked that probably wasn't. I don't want to like be denigrating to the album in the sense that it was bad, but it wasn't maybe worth a full review episode, but it was worth talking about and worth kind of doing a draft episode. Andy came up with that idea this week.
Jake, tie that last part of the segment back in too. In the words of Jake Owen, watch out, I'm spitting my dip inside.
Well, Jake Owen released another album called Loose Cannon. Those that are too young to remember wouldn't know. Those that refuse to listen to anything from the mainstream also wouldn't know. But there was a time that Jake Owen put out really solid music. His first
Barefoot
2 or 3
Blue
albums.
Night.
Well, the first 2 albums before that, The Green Bananas, that was a great song. Like there was a time where Jake Owen wasn't just, the prototypical kind of beach lake kind of motif, but he put out another record. And if you look at the album cover, it's him. Like it kind of has like a beach kind of aesthetic to it, but the record itself sonically and lyrically is not really a beachy album. It kind of tackles a lot of things like nostalgia, heartbreak. There are a couple of songs. There are some misfires on this record. I'm not going to say this is a strong, from start to finish, every song is good kind of thing, but there are a handful of misfires on here, as you tend to expect from the mainstream. But overall, this was a pretty solid record. I was surprised by how much pedal steel was used on this album. I think that to Kyle, it may have been your point either last week or the week before, that the first song you listen to on an album kind of sets the tone for how much of a chance you give it. I happened to pick one of them that was more of a somber number that had a pretty heavy pedal steel in the mix, and it gave me a good first impression of it. So I sent it to the guys. We all kind of liked it, and we figured that bringing it into the draft this week, where we can draft our teams of 5 from the track list. There's 16 songs, so there will be one that will be left out. And then as we make our selections, we can kind of talk about the songs, what we liked. But overall, solid record. Like I said, there's a lot of nostalgia weaved in. There's some clever hooks that you kind of expect from country music. That's been a long tradition in country music that I tend to like. He had some Nashville hit makers writing on this record. He had some other just downright good songwriters like Brent Cobb contribute to this album. But overall, really solid effort from Jake Owen. Jake's always been good vocally. So I was pleasantly surprised when I listened to this. So, fellas, if you want to jump in, we'll jump into the wheel to decide the draft order.
I got an overall thought here as well.
Yeah, same
okay.
Here.
Yeah, go for it.
I think this album is a prime example for albums being too long now. Like Jake Owen's first 3 albums, 2 of them are 11 songs, one's 10. If you trimmed this back down to that length, this would be a far better album. And I feel like we're just in the era of long albums, is why this is 16. And it would have been a better album, far better album, if it was 10 songs.
I think that's 100% true. All killer, no filler, but there's definitely some filler songs in here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. To add on to what Andy said, he took my main point, but there's some cheeky turn of phrases in a lot of his songs. So I give him that. There's a lot of pedal steel. A lot of these songs are riding heavy on the having two. I'm sure there's an English term for this, but having 2 meanings at the same time.
Double entendre.
Double entendre, yeah. So there's a couple titles that are doing 2 things at one time, which is clever. Some of the songs they're clever in that way, and then some of them are just they're a third straight looking straight down the middle. They're just a big mess, but we'll find out. And also, Jake Owen gave me a lesson for a lifetime. Wild as 8-second ride.
I will say, Andy and I, we used to love Andy. What was that song from the Barefoot Blue Jean Night record in 2011? We were 17, 18 years old. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There was a part in the song where he starts talking about filling up the bathtub.
Nobody feeling no pain.
Yeah. He's like going down to that old ice maker down there in the hall, get as much ice and liquid refreshments, fill up the tub with as much as it possibly can hold. And then you got a big old party going on. We used to before going out downtown in college, we would play that song and we would just repeat that phrase like assholes. But yeah, there's some positive memories for us from our younger days with some Jake Owen songs. But I agree with you guys. Cutting this album down to 11 songs would make it a much stronger effort all the way through. I did like that this is a lot more of a rootsy affair through most of it. There are some exceptions than the kind of the beach era we got from him. I get that the album cover and his whole brand is kind of like beach, lake kind of thing, but the songs don't really represent that as much as it has in the past. So,
well, he's standing on a bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the shades that give off the beach motif.
Yeah. And also the border of the album has palm trees and
oh yeah,
it's kind of like a beach color, but it's got a cannon, a cowboy. stuff like that. But it's kind of like in that kind of beach green almost.
Yeah, here we go. Logan's going to get first pick.
All right. So remind everybody of the rules. We don't do snake draft. We do regular order. It's only 3 of us. We're going to have the track list from Loose Cannon, 16 tracks, 3 of us, 15 will be selected, 1 left off. The order will be decided by the wheel because the wheel is just. And let's figure out.
Allegedly.
Let's figure out. I put like 1 million on here for those of you listening. So they can't. It's not just 3 big slices. It's like a pie. It's a circle on the wheel, and there's 1 million little slivers. So let's find out who gets the first pick.
It's going to be Logan because it's rigged.
It is, right? Oh, you're lucky there. Goddamn, if it ain't like clockwork.
I really have no explanation for this, but
you rigged it. You've weighted the results. LD.
There's
Logan,
no way to do that. I don't own this website.
LD
Anyways.
Logan.
Allegedly.
We've never seen how to do it. So
Second pick.
That'd be me.
Be Kyle.
Suck it, Andy.
Trucker Andy, you got the last pick. All right, so I'll go first. With the first pick, this isn't my favorite song on the album, but I feel like Andy is going to pick it, so I'm going to pick it. It's Hot Truck Beer. So you see the song title, and you just think this song is going to suck, right?
Yeah.
But then
That's what I thought.
I thought it too. I purposefully did. It's the first track on the album, right? I purposefully didn't start with it because I was like, I'm gonna hate that song just from the title. But then it came up on shuffle and I heard it and I was like, wait a minute. I like the sound of this song. It's a nostalgic take on like looking back on your old times essentially. And there's some lines in it that I really did like, where it was at the very beginning. He was like, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't think like I did back then. 17, somewhere in between who I was and who I am. And then at the hook of the song says, no, it didn't have it all, but it was close enough because of cool cigarettes and hot truck beer. It's a fun song that kind of looks back introspectively and nostalgically on kind of when you were younger, and then almost like kind of like the growth process. So this one pleasantly surprised me because I expected it to be awful. But first pick, hot truck beer.
All right, well, thank you for picking that one because I didn't think that's what you're going to pick. My first pick is going to be Heart and Habits. This was the first one I picked when I picked Shuffle because I didn't want my first song to be Hot Truck Beer because I felt like it was going to poison my view of the album. This song kind of reminds me of a little bit more old school Jago, and also it has a killer verse. The only cowboy killer I want is a 5'5" or whatever he says, 5'5". Cool ass verse talking about the Marlboro Reds, and that so quasi toxic love song, which are always fun. They're just as good as toxic love songs. They're just as good as sad songs. And she's the only one that can kind of get him on the straight and narrow.
It's a good turn of phrase.
Yes. I love I love the hook of the song. You don't hear the phrase cowboy killers anymore with our anti Philip Morris stance in America. But yeah, I did. I grew up hearing Cowboy Killers, Double Marlboro Reds, so it kind of hit me in the nostalgia feels. So yeah, it was my favorite song. It's my favorite song on the whole record.
That's interesting because I'm not really a big fan of that song.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
What do you not like about it so much?
It just seemed very. The part that you said you liked was I liked the reference to Cowboy Killer being a double entendre for
Yes. She's
Marlboro
gonna kill
Red
him.
or the young lady.
A woman or a woman.
I didn't like the 5'5" reference because, and it's not Jake's fault. It reminded me of the Georgia boy from Florida Georgia Line solo single 5'9". I'm just like that poisoned the well for me. So it maybe isn't the song's fault as it is hearing not Brian Kelly. What's the other guy's name? Tyler Hubbard's song 5'9". I think it just poisoned the well for me.
I wonder what the average height of an American woman is.
I don't know.
It's got to be like 5'2".
This is where I like on tailgate season. If you're an ACC sports fan, check that out. Spotify, Apple Podcast. I like having Kenny Stats on the show because anytime we ask things like that out loud, he's like quick to. He's our Jamie essentially from Joe Rogan Experience.
Hold on, efforting. Continue. I'm gonna be height of women.
I think it's 5'2".
In the U.S., blah, blah, efforting, poor Wi-Fi. 5'4". So it's very close.
Yeah.
5'9" is fairly tall for a woman.
It's very tall for a woman.
Yeah, it's very tall.
The average height for a man, but it's tall for a woman.
Yeah. Short kings stay winning.
Andy, what's your first pick?
I think Logan may have messed up on his pick.
Oof.
Because I think I'm going to take his. I'm not sure on this.
You might.
I think mine's somewhere south of the Rome.
Damn it. See, I picked Hot Truck Beers because I was trying to avoid. I thought you were going to pick that one, and I was going to have this for the second pick. This was my favorite song on the album.
Oh yeah, the sound.
I didn't really care for that one.
No, this is my favorite. The way the sound goes with the song. The sound makes the song electric. There's just something about how this sounds to the story he tells that just fits perfectly. I like the story, like the story's captivating in itself, and then the sound just brings it home. This is probably by far my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, this is my favorite song on the album. I'm with you on that, Andy. Just from the fact of just the story of it, it's a guy who has, well beyond the breakup time. He's down, in the islands, and he's finally hit that moment of closure. And he gets a postcard. It's the story aspect of it, and the pedal steel. He gets a postcard to write to his ex, hoping that she's doing well. And the line that I really liked was, "I can finally say that I hope you found someone." Like, it just kind of brings it together. And then he goes, signed, or yours truly, sincerely, from the other side of the sun, signed somewhere south with Rum. Great pick. I knew I was gambling when I picked that, but that's my favorite song on the album too. Kyle,
as soon as you said that you were countering it, I was like, I've got it now.
No, it doesn't really affect me because I didn't really particularly care for that song.
You were safe with Hot Truck Beer. That was going to probably be like 4 or 5 on my picks. I had my choice.
Now we're getting deep in the strategy where Logan misjudged.
All right, yeah, that's true. All right, so now it's back to me. I'm going to go with.
He's taking my second right now. I know it.
I'm going to go with another one of the bummer jams that is heavy on the pedal steel. It don't, he won't, and you do.
Yep, that was my second.
This is a fantastic song, and this is like the best of Jake Owen is in songs like this, because he has that deep baritone vocal, fits well with this. The pedal steel, I love it. Just the story here about, it's a classic heartbreak story of you've lost your woman, and the lines of like, "I wish the silence would run out of lonely, that God would let my prayers get through, and you wouldn't dance through my mind every night, but it don't, he won't, and you do." Everything is going wrong for this poor guy, and he's having a rough time, and it just seems like he feels hopeless. It's the loneliness, the hopelessness, and the bad decisions he's making, all because he messed up and he let her get away. This is country music in this one right here. Did have kind of a wonky reference of MASH, watching reruns of MASH while you rehash your thoughts. That was kind of made me chuckle a little bit, but yeah, I was very much a big fan of the song. It don't, he won't, and you do. It was my second pick.
It reminds me of like Where She Told Me to Go by Eric Church a little bit. And then I think the MASH thing also kind of sets it off as it's kind of a shitty hotel because they don't have a bunch of shows. And I like how he changes the "it don't, he won't, and you do" 3 or 4 times in the song.
Yes.
Yeah,
because he changes it where it's not just the same refrain every time within the chorus, but it fits the hook.
We're on completely different pages on this album.
Those two were a step above all the rest.
Everything else.
Please.
Now you got.
Please
there's
guess
a decent gap
one.
for 3 for me.
Yeah, I'm 100% with Andy on that. Let me guess. Kyle's going to pick On the Boat again.
Oh, fuck that song. Andy, you got to guess?
Oh, man. I ain't trying to give anything away.
We're on opposite pages. No. It's Go Get Her.
Okay. That was a Brent Kopko,
third pick on the low list.
Yeah, I like that song, Kyle. That's a Brent Kopko.
Yeah, I love the song because it is a troubling relationship song, but it's a different angle that you don't often get. It's an angle of the we just had a fight. I'm gonna just go apologize and handle my business. Most time all you hear is the most of these breakup songs is I did something wrong or she did something wrong. I'm in my feels. But this is just the people that have been in long-term relationships understand this is just one of those moments where you're just kind of, all right, I know what she's doing. I know she's at her sister's house, probably bitching and moaning about me. And this one's different. So I got to swallow my pride and go get her back because I worked real hard. And I really enjoy this song because it's a different viewpoint on most relationships. I can't think of many songs like this that are tackling this point of view. They're not broke up. They're just in a big fight.
And he said that's kind of their thing. Like, I like this song too because the two different uses of Go Getter. Like, at the beginning of the chorus, at the beginning of the chorus, he's a go-getter in that since he's been with her, he's working hard, he's doing all the right things, or at least he's trying to. And then he's like, they're fighting or whatever, but by the end of the chorus, he's saying she's over at her sister's or her mom's or whatever. And then it was like, but I'm a go-getter. Yeah. So it's like, he's a go-getter. He's going to put forth the effort, but he's also going to go get her and make sure things are all right. I like this song too.
And I love the line, she's gone with the wind, but here we go again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same old song and dance, they've done this many a times, and relationships take work. Let's just be honest.
Kyle's picked 2 songs that are about toxicity.
Well, I don't have a toxic relationship, but you understand when you get to the point I'm at where you understand there are struggles.
Oh, yeah, it's struggles in any relationship.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying there's trouble in paradise, but you get the point where it's just like some point you're just gonna, when you get to a certain point, you're like, all right, there's nothing else that can be said at the current moment. We're just gonna let her go. I'm gonna sit right here, and then a couple hours from now, I'll go handle business and let everybody cool off. Which is you don't hear a lot of relationship songs dealing with the intermediary troubles, if you will. Most things you hear is the end of the relationship, which is why I vibe with this song. So the beginning where it's red hot, or at the end where it's just they can't stand each other.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like the song too. I like the pick. Andy, one thing I did forget to mention, it just popped in my head right then, from somewhere south with rum, was I like the reference to Charleston and King Street within that. Because
I like how he said Charleston.
It's not just referencing Charleston, because people do that, but it's like he referenced, the main street in Charleston, whereas like he's bouncing in and out of bars on King Street. I like when songs take a place, but then bring something that's, local to the place and references it in the song. So that was part that it slipped my mind that I had in my notes.
I just don't understand the affinity for Charleston.
Charleston is nice. If you go a few miles outside of the way of Charleston, it's not. I had a great time in Charleston, 2019.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fine city. But, just
Mount Pleasant's nice, but Charleston's nice.
You guys want to guess my second pick? Strategize.
Shrank.
Not going to tip his hand.
Solo.
I would pick that song, but that's not tipping your hand either. I'm gonna go with "Hey, Can I Buy You a Beer?"
Oh, okay.
the line that really sets on is that most drinks don't mean anything, but this one meant everything. I like that line a lot. I think this is a good love song. I like the way he tells the story about it, like with the X's on your hands and all that stuff. It's the references somewhat make sense to some, I guess, our age. I don't know when they did X's. I don't know when that became a thing, but I don't know. I can see this story in my head. I like this song quite a bit.
I like that song a lot too, because just the evolution and the maturation process of the relationship after starting off with, the classic, how a lot of people have met, can I buy you a drink at the bar? Can I buy you a beer? Kind of thing. So, all right. Well, I guess it's back to me. I'm going to go with this song is very much indicative of Barefoot Blue Jean Night kind of sound from Jake Owen, but I liked for that reason the ending on this one.
That song too.
There's something about songs where it's similar to Wallen's song 98 Braves in that the relationship was good, things were going good, and then they just couldn't figure out. He goes, "Hey, there ain't no doubt we had it all figured out, but the ending." And kind of, I love the reference to Dancing in the Dark by Springsteen, Learning to Fly by Petty in the middle of the chorus. But just that idea of the relationship, all the good things that went on the journey, but it didn't end well, and you didn't end up together. And then there's a part of him that like wants to, as he said, run it back, wants to try to see if the spark is still there and see if they can fix the ending. But they had it all figured out, but the ending. I don't know why I'm drawn to these types of songs. I think that it's the masochist in me, probably, that loves sad songs where like this seems like a happy song, things seems like they're great, and then at the very last minute they pull it away from me, and you know what? Your life still sucks, bro. I think I don't know.
Church, they just couldn't land it.
They just couldn't land it. That's right. Had it in the air, just couldn't land it. So it's over when it's over. But the ending, I like that song. So that's my third pick.
Any guesses on mine? They follow a theme. They follow a theme. What?
They follow a theme. Maybe hopeless. I can. No. Yeah. Oh, crap. Loose Cannon.
Yes, it is, Andy. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. This is a very well written love song. About how the woman is his better half, and she makes him whole, and he also makes her whole because they're polar opposites, essentially. The verse that really stuck out to me is at the very end of the song, where you'll be, where he's talking about being a hard-headed man. I know about that all too well. I'm everything I've ever learned in my life has been the hard way. So it's just a great love song, in my opinion.
It's interesting you picked this one. Like you said, you and I are on different wavelengths on this record.
We are.
Yeah, I was just thinking in my head, I'm not competing with Kyle here.
No, definitely not. Because this song is well done. I love the production on it. At the end of the day, I don't love songs, and I don't love songs where
you're a masochist.
Where it requires the girl for you to be straightened out, and if it wasn't for her, I'd be in trouble and I'd be nothing. Those songs don't land with me, and I think that maybe that has to do with it is, but I think that maybe that has to do with probably like I'm not in a committed marriage or relationship, so it could be just difference of perspective with life experience. But I don't know. These songs just don't land with me. I think the song's enjoyable and I like the way it sounds. So it's not going to be a skip when it comes on, but it's not one of my favorites.
Well, like I said,
it's a good pick. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah, well, like I said, the verse that really stood out to me in the song is just well, the part that really stood out to me was I had a mind fart for a second is him talking about being a hard-headed ass man. I know all about that. Bible me, because
well, to paraphrase,
I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. So you might as well just learn to
paraphrase you, and you were talking about a song that you just heard it and you thought this. I'm gonna be like, when I heard this, I was like, this is a Kyle Akery ass song.
What song is this? Which one is it? Oh yeah.
You said that about some song you heard a while back. You were like, this is a Logan DeBerry ass song.
Oh yeah, damn. What song was that?
I don't remember.
It was on one of our Cold Cans playlists a few weeks ago.
It was, yeah.
Damn it! What was that song? Gosh, it's bothering me now. Yeah,
but
yeah.
No, it's a good pick. It just isn't one of my favorites, but it is a good song.
This is where it gets deep because after these three, I don't really care for a lot of this.
I've still got a couple left.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm gonna go with "Friends Don't Let Friends."
I like that one.
I had the same opinion of the title as Hot Truck Beer. I like how I assume every time I've ever heard "Friends Don't Let Friends Drink Alone," it's always been in a party sense. But in this sense, like the drinking has nothing to do with the song. It's more just being there for your friends. So it's a good wholesome song, and I like the way he did it.
Up until about the last 6 months, Andy would have let us drink alone, though. It's unfortunate.
But you see, the point of the song, though, isn't about drinking.
Yes, but you still would have let us drink alone, though.
Well, it does get a little bit tougher for me from here. I'm probably gonna have to go with probably "Hopeless" here. I like the melody on this song. This one's a little bit more of the pop leaning stuff, like as people on Twitter have kind of accurately said about a lot of the mainstream, it's Southern pop. This one's kind of that way too. But the melody was enjoyable for me because I don't mind some Southern pop. I'm not going to be one of those people that just says it has to be one way or the highway kind of thing. But at the same time, there is an element of him trying to be better in this song, saying he's going to go cold turkey on the smokes, cut back on the long cut, be just what you hoped. Hope you quit playing in a band. I like this part. Hope you quit playing in a band, grow up and put one on your hand, but I'm still singing and drinking no more, but I ain't drinking no less. Just let me guess I'm hopeless. Just let you go. Or baby, I'm just hopeless. I like the double entendre there where like hopeless being one word, we're saying he's hopeless. There's no helping him. But at the same time, or you can either just let me go or you know what, just hopeless. Maybe you need to adjust your expectations.
I did like that turn of phrase.
Yeah, just
I
adjust.
like that turn of phrase
maybe
quite a bit.
I'm not the problem. You're the problem. You expect too much. So that part kind of made me laugh a little bit. But yeah, "Hopeless" is my fourth pick.
So,
Dead air.
So, all right, the next song I'm gonna pick is because I don't particularly like it. I just want to talk about it. It reminds me a lot of another artist song that the name is now escaping me. That's "Boy in a Chevrolet." It reminds me a lot of the Brad Paisley song. If I could, the one where he talks to himself at 17.
Oh yeah. If I could write a letter to me.
Yeah.
Or a letter to me, I believe is the name.
Yeah, "Letter to Me." It reminds me a lot of that song. And I just wanted to know your guys' thoughts because I don't particularly enjoy it. It's just not particularly new. It's there. This is where we're getting into the deep stuff because it's not like some songs where I hate one of them is just a straight ripoff of another song, and the other one I hate when you use external intros. You know which two I'm talking about. But so I go with "Boy in a Chevrolet." Thoughts on that?
I don't hate this song. I actually kind of like it. I think what kind of goes me from being full on, I really like the song is it's a nostalgic song in the sense of like kind of like you said, looking back on your coming of age of growing up, almost like talking to yourself in the past. But it's done in a very mainstream way. You know, talking about "Boy in a Chevrolet," referencing Chevrolets, good years, all that stuff. Like it checks the boxes, right?
Yep.
But I don't dislike the song.
It's kind of a retrospective Silverado for sale.
Yeah.
In a sense. And I think that song's better.
Yeah,
that song though is more about I don't really get the connection on those two.
It's
other than
using
the
the
reference to
truck
Chevy.
to the same. It's using the truck in the same. It's the same analogy with the truck to a slightly different story.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
If you change the story of both the songs, they'd be the same.
I mean, that's a lot of songs though, but yeah, I get the connection there now that you say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't particularly like that song. It's just
I do like this song, but I don't love this song. If that makes sense.
It's fine, but it's just there.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's probably not one of the ones I would cut, but it's also not one of the ones that I would have near the top of like recommendations either.
I probably would cut that one.
I think that's going to be the filler song that gets left.
Yeah.
Mine, this song does need some work, but it's when it all shakes out. I really like how this song's written, but the sound of it's Copperhead Road.
Yeah, I see that.
The writing of the song though is actually, the words are probably top 5 on it. I like at the beginning where he's putting Miles on a 30-some heart, where he's older than what you would think for the song being. And it's basically, and I like the line, can I shake the hand of the man that I'm going to be? It's basically, and it's sort of when you look back at it, is that the person I'm going to be, would I even shake the hand of the person that I am now? I really like this song.
Yeah,
I do like the sound of it's Copperhead Road.
If you want to hear the better version of this song, but it's from an older perspective, listen to The Old Woman and Me by Lori McKenna. We'll probably have some more about that album coming out on next week's episode. But I like it for the same reasons you said, Andy. Like the putting Miles on a 30-some heart as we're approaching 30, that kind of resonated with me. And then just kind of, wanting to shake the hand of the man you're going to be. Like that stuff hits with me. I didn't love the production on it, like you said.
Are we going into round 5 now?
Yeah, going into the last one. I'm going to go on and just get it out of the way and pick this one. Not because I like it. I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not. I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to go with Shrank, actually.
I hate this song.
I don't hate this song, though. This song, Andy, I get why you don't like it. This song reminds me of 90s country. From the production isn't too far off from 90s country. It's not spot on, but it's not too far off. But it's the same kind of like little bit cheesy kind of 90s country feel. I mean, anybody that, if you listen to this and say, oh, this is way too cheesy, but then you start belting out when Vidalia or Wink by Neil McCoy comes on, like you're kind of being a little bit of a hypocrite. But
you got me pegged for why I don't like it. I'm not a hypocrite.
Yeah, well, Andy, you don't like 90s country, so I get it. But like this song is influenced by 90s country. So I mean, it's not great. It's not bad. It's kind of just there. It's an enjoyable song that comes on when I was going through shuffle. I never skipped it, but I never sought it out. It's fine. But, a little bit 90s country inspired with the songwriting, a little bit with the production. I can get down with this. Say if you're out on a boat or something, like this is fine.
Good background music.
Yeah, agree.
So my final selection is going to be a song. I'm going to give you a hint, and I think you two can guess it.
I'm on the boat again.
No. I absolutely love that song. This song is out of place. Okay. What I mean by this song should have came out on his 2011 or 2013 record. This reminds me a lot of Dierks Bentley, Drunk on a Plane era country. It's out of place now with the transition country music's in.
Solo.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It just it feels out of place now. If this song came out in 2013, it would have been a hit.
It'd been a big hit.
Yeah, it'd been a hit. But it just
Granted, radio kind of sucked in 2013.
Yeah, it did. Dirk spent the head drunk on a plane. But this song just it doesn't work now. It's 10 years too late.
Yeah, this song. The thing about this song for me is like I liked the song and liked most of the song until the hook. I don't love the hook. Yeah, drinking out of a solo. That part kind of missed with me.
There is one clever line where solo stands for so lonely. That's clever. I give him that. Yeah. I give him that.
It's fucking awesome. Oh, wrong artist.
Oh yeah. But I mean, yeah, this song is like they just pulled it out of the spank bank from 2013. And
it was one that they still had left over from the Bro Country era and decided, you know what, we need an extra song.
Yeah, let's throw it in there. But it just doesn't work now.
I respect him for it because I'm surprised that I've never heard Sipping on a Solo before. I'm surprised that's not been done yet.
Raleigh native Blake Pendergrass was one of the co-writers on this. He's the guy that wrote 865.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could have maybe worked some kind of bourbon in there to make solo work, some kind of mixed drink. I feel like that was a missed opportunity. But it's kind of a lazy song. But the point I'm trying to make is I don't like it particularly. I just think it just missed its timeline. It's like they pulled it out of the vault and they think the song, like I said, the song came out in 2011, 2013. I think it was a golden era for that song. At that time, it was just past. The big names in mainstream country have just kind of left this era behind, and it just doesn't fit now. Yeah, rightfully so. It just doesn't quite work anymore. It's like a time capsule song.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the song. The hook is what it lost it for me. But
yeah, I mean, one clever song that one clever line there.
We're kind of running out of quality songs with the last like 4 to round out the roster.
Yeah. And I think Andy is dead on. Where if this was 10 songs, takes it from probably like a 6.5 to probably 7.5, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes from a good to a pretty damn good album.
Yeah. I say just 60. If it was shorter, if this was shorter, I think it would rival Barefoot Blue Jean Night.
Yeah.
You could argue that.
Yeah. It's just,
but the length of it killed it.
Yeah. There's a lot of filler that isn't needed.
Which unfortunately I think is going to be a normal thing in the streaming era.
Yeah. I mean, because I've saved the 4 songs I truly enjoy. I don't care about the rest of them.
Yeah, I don't like it being this long. There was a point, I think the Saving Country Music article brought up about an EP. It was about Josh Ward's newest EP, that while it's an EP and it's 4 songs, if had that been put in an album, it would have lost its meaning being over 4 songs. 16 is ridiculous.
Yeah. And while you mentioned Saving Country Music, I've been a long time reader of Saving Country Music. Like one thing that Trigger, the writer, he's always said that when he's reviewing mainstream stuff, you compare it against their peers, and for a mainstream record, this record's pretty solid. So that's when I say, like, I'm not comparing this against the way I would compare it to like a Turnpike album that hopefully is coming out, or Zach Bryan's released next month.
August.
But compared to the mainstream, this is a solid album.
Oh, wait, are we getting Zach Bryan and Turnpike both in August?
That would be sick. That would be the
Turnpike's August.
I know Zach Bryan has said August.
Mm.
Yeah, he even said that he's even put. I'm slightly concerned on the Zach Bryan album because I saw him tweet today that he's putting a live edition of Dawn's on the album.
I'm cool with that.
I didn't really like Dawn.
I'm cool with that.
Oh, I like Dawn's. Yeah, I
didn't really like that song. I thought that was
Dawn's back.
I thought that was one of his weaker songs. And 2, I much prefer you put live cuts on a live cut album.
Well, that way you won't listen to it.
Yes. I don't like live cuts on a production album.
It's probably going to be at the bottom of the track list, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, but just keep that shit separate. It's been done that way for a reason. If I wanted to watch if I wanted to listen to an album cut, I'll go to the concert. Just yeah. Bad take, unpopular opinion, hot take, whatever you want to call it. I just I don't like live cuts in a studio album. It messes the whole flow up because you get the audience applause noise in there, and you're like, all right, never mind.
Yeah, it depends on if you like live tracks. I like live records, but
I've never understood someone in their car listening to live tracks.
I do it all the time.
Oh, okay, I've never understood that.
But Andy, what's your last pick?
I was hoping we were going to avoid this.
On the boat again. Somebody's got to do it.
Just pick it so I can utterly destroy it.
I am going to go with 16 songs, 50 minutes, 5 seconds.
Well, that's not a track, so
just pick on the boat
on
again.
The album.
Not a track.
Oh Jesus! I'm probably going to have to pick that because nothing. The Andy Griffith whistle makes me. I'd rather die.
And see, I love Andy. I love Andy Griffith, but
it's lazy as hell.
It didn't need to be in this song. I like
Andy Griffith,
song, North Carolina Treasure, and I love the show. Fantastic television. Didn't need to be in the song.
It's lazy.
We had 2 interpolations that you had to choose from: the Willie Nelson interpolation and Andy Griffith. So
so what makes me madder is that On the Boat Again is on the top 5 of his most popular right now.
I think that's his current single.
Yeah. I'd heard that. I'd heard
awful.
Yeah, I'd heard this before. This.
All right. I got to pick that. Nothing is just.
It's better than Red Solo Cup that Toby Keith put on the radio, a decade plus back. But that's not a high bar to cross.
No, my problem with this song is, like, about 10 years ago, T-Pain put out a song where all he did was rip famous verses of R&B and hip hop songs. This is like dangerously close.
Well, no, it's not a ripoff because
it's pretty damn close.
No, it's not a ripoff, and I'll explain why. This is what's called an interpolation. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but everybody from the original track is credited here and is reaping any of the financial gains from this.
Yeah, sure.
It's the same as sampling a track, but it's like it's repurposing a previously held song that's giving proper credit to the proper people and using it in a different way. This is something that's been done in music for a long time.
Shouldn't be a song.
I agree, but this isn't a quote unquote ripoff. It would be a ripoff if he did this and didn't acknowledge or give credits to the people that had the original.
I mean, like, to me, this is On a Boat Again is like a Weird Al parody.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
I mean, really, that's what I think of when I see the song. It's just not as funny as a Weird Al parody.
Right. This is meant to be more fun and drinking on the boat than it is trying to be funny parody, you know?
But it's just...
it's like a parody.
It's lazy. It's lazy.
Yeah, well, this was meant to be
singles are?
Probably. I don't know.
You guys know what the singles are?
I know On a Boat Again is one because I've heard that on the radio.
There's 4. Now that we've been through the track list,
radio singles?
The 4 it's what's on Spotify for singles.
I know On a Boat Again is one.
Guess the 4 they picked for that though. It was the ones that got released before the album.
All right. I'll go first. Hot Truck Beer, On a Boat Again.
That's the last one.
On a Boat Again.
2 of them.
Boy in a Chevrolet, and Hey, Can I Buy You? Oh no. Okay. All right.
Nope.
All right. So I got 2 of the 4 on my
Solo.
Solo. Yeah, Solo's one. What's the 4 worst songs on the album? Is it
Hearts
Shrink?
and Habits?
No.
No, Shrink.
You did say something very accurate.
The 4 worst songs on the album, yeah. So let's see, which one's did Logan pick? just messing. All right, so we got Hot Truck Beer, Solo.
I'll defend Hot Truck
Beer.
Beer
Again.
Hot Truck Beer,
the song,
the song,
not the actual hot beer, but the song, yes.
Yeah, these
that's
Brits,
that's
drink
the good
hot
one.
Beer. Yeah, the Brits
that's
drink hot beer.
Well,
that's the last one they did.
We left them a long time ago, and I don't need to be copying what they do.
It's the one we didn't pick.
Nothing. Which one did we not pick?
Nothing.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Solo on the boat again. Nothing. Hot Truck Beer. Hot Truck Beer being the most recently one pre-released. They could have not done a worse job picking 4 songs to put out.
They're the 4 worst songs on the record.
I wouldn't say Hot Truck
excluding
Beer
Hot Truck Beer.
Yeah. But the other 3.
The other 3, yeah. They could not have done a worse job.
They're the 4 worst songs on the record.
I would probably say Hearts and Habits, but
shout at me, yeah. Look, I'm not gonna lie.
Gotta cross the bow.
When you sent me this record, yes, a bow, yeah. When you sent me this record,
I was spitting out my Zen. All right.
You said Hot Truck Beer does not reflect the song title. I immediately put it on shuffle, so Hot Truck Beer would not be the first one I played because I had a feeling that it was just going to taint. Taint my whole view of the album.
I listened to it first because I was figuring it can't get worse than this.
No, I avoided it until it came up naturally.
No, I knew it was on a boat. I'd heard that.
Yeah, I had to.
So
I had.
Yeah, like I said, without those 4 songs, drop it to 12, maybe 11. It was from a 6.5 to 6.5, 7 to maybe 8.
There's a very good album within this album.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it goes from a passing grade to a solid B.
B plus.
Yeah. It goes from like a 70 to an 80.
Yeah. I agree. But
C's get degrees is what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's the Loose Cannon Jake Owen draft. If you listen to it, I know that this is probably a little bit off of what some of our listeners probably choose to consume musically, but if you listen to it, let us know what you like. Let us know what you didn't like. Leave us a voicemail. Follow us on all social media at Cold Cans Country, on Twitter and Instagram at Country and Cold Cans, on TikTok. We're on Threads now at Cold Cans Country. You can follow us there. Check out the website countryandcoldcans.com for blog content and merch. And give us 5 stars. Great review. Make sure you hit subscribe. Share it with your friends. Reach out to us. We'll respond next week. This episode of Country and Cold Cans, I'm Logan, sitting here with Trucker Andy and Kyle. See you next time.
Take care, guys.